Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to a new chapter, chapter 5 recursion, class 12 computer science. So, what is recursion? Definition. Recursion refers to a programming technique in which function call itself either directly or indirectly. Let us understand this by a program. So here is a Python program to find a to the power b using recursion. So here we are defining the power, power function. So a is the base and b is the power. These are the parameters a and b. So if b is equal to 0, if power is equal to 0, then everyone know that anything to the power 0 is 1. So it will return the value as 1. Else return a into power a comma b minus 1. So here we are indirectly calling the function. So here we are reducing one value of the power. So since we are reducing this one value, we are multiplying the a value here. So since a, so since if here the power is a to the power b, so a to the power b will be the will it return. So here a is multiplied with e to the power b minus 1. So what will happen? A to the power 1 into a to the power b minus 1. So the power value will get plused, that means 1 plus b minus 1. So it will come as a to the power b. This statement is equal to a to the power b. We are writing this so that we can call the function indirectly. So here recursion is used. So n will store the value integer type of enter the number. That means the base a, and p will store int enter the power. So p will store the power value, that is b. Print, so power of n, that is power of n, that is base to p, that is power n comma p. Here we are using this function. So enter the number, so it has entered as 3 and the power is 4. So power of 3 to the power 4 is 81. That means 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 4 times is 81. Hope you understood this program. So next is here program, Python program to find the factorial of a number using recursion. So here we are defining a factorial n. So if n is equal to 1, that is condition is that if n is equal to 1, then it will return as n. That means everyone know that the value of factorial 1 is 1. So it will return as 1, the same number, that is n, that will be equal to 1. Else return n into factorial n minus 1. It is known that n, the factorial of n, can also be written as n into n minus 1 factorial, which is written here. And since we are writing this like this because we are calling the function indirectly, that means we are using recursion. Next we are using a variable that will store the value that the user will enter. So it will store integer value, enter the number. This will store the number of which we have to find the factorial. So if num is less than 0, that means if the integer entered here is a negative number, then it will return that sorry, factorial does not exist for negative number. And if it is not a negative number, that means next condition is num is equal to 0. And if the value of num is entered by the user is 0, then it will print the factorial of 0 is 1, since the factorial of 0 is a 1. So if this condition also become false, it will go to the final else part. That means print the factorial of num is factorial num. That means this will print the value of factorial if the num is not equal to 0 and if the num is not a negative number. So you can see in output that enter the number. So user has input as 5, so it will go in this condition as it is a it is not a negative number and it is not 5 is not equal to 0. And the factorial, you can see that print the factorial of the factorial of num. So he has entered as 5, that is 5 is so what will be the value of factorial num? So it will be 5 into factorial of 5 minus 1, that is factorial of 4. So it will be 5 into 1, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, that is equal to 120. Hope you understood this program. Next program. So Python program to print the Fibonacci series using recursion. Here also we will use recursion. So here we are defining Fibonacci and a parameter n. So if n is less than or equal to 1, return n. That means Fibonacci series of